games. This is, of course, Gamer 1745 here. And those of you who have showed up expecting Hearts of Iron 4, because that's what the stream and everything says, we will be getting to that in a while. I think this is probably the best way to minimize the number of viewers I will be getting, because they will be disappointed in what they see. Yeah, I know. It's not maybe the smartest thing in the world to do, but I just feel like doing something else before we're getting into Hoi 4 here today. So, yeah, we're going to play a little Field of Glory 2 Medieval. Not yet released game. I don't think it's yet out. From Slytherin Matrix. I forget which banner it's under more. But yeah, okay, we're going to be playing a sort of custom battle, as it were, against a potluck adversary. We're going to be playing in English 1155 to 1270 AD type army. And hello, Martin Smith, how you doing? On a random battlefield, so I don't know what this will be. Let's force size, map size. Ooh, yeah, do we have a difficulty setting here? Maybe we'll go back. No. Custom battle. I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to hopefully a good day streaming here. Okay, no allies, potluck, open battle, force size medium, map size medium. Okay, I think this will be hopefully a balanced opponent, if you will. And Mr. Coco Man is here. Hello to you, and how are you doing this fine morning? Okay, that's objective route the enemy army. That's just sort of the basics here. Okay. For those of you watching now and or later, Field of Glory 2 is, and I'm not terribly familiar with it, but it is a set of miniature rules, meaning you normally would have, say, these 4 figures on a, you know, often in lead, or I think modern day they do some sort of other alloys because they're not using lead so much anymore. But figures that are painted up on a, you know, a stand. You're Gucci? No, okay. You're a clothing brand? Cool. Maybe that means something in a particular language more than I know. I'm doing just fine. And so, you know, tabletop miniatures that you're going to paint up and set up a battlefield that's sort of like this, you know, on a tabletop and play it against an opponent. And so what they've done, and these types of rules are fairly sophisticated rules, what they've done is my understanding, because I've not played the base game but heard from people, they've done a rather faithful changing of the rules into a computer game. So this is I think a really good way to examine battles in history, because even though it is tabletop and not like each little sword guy whacking on another sword guy, they've done a rather sophisticated morale type systems over the years in various rule sets, and that's this Field of Glory 2 rule set. So that's what we're going to be playing in. So that's what it's trying to simulate here, and this is sort of a random battle. We can see the field. We got really super lucky in that we're sitting on a hill. The enemy is not. These are all of our points. So far we have 1197 points, and we have 967 yet to use. Maybe because I'm a modern guy, I like firepower, if you will. Ooh, we have some Welsh longbowmen. Ooh, we'll take those for sure. But we're going to use up all of our firepower points. Okay. And those will be hopefully devastating on the field here. Now, we can look at this field that we're going to be fighting on. Knights and this stuff don't work so well. Knights don't work well on rough terrain. Knights will work well through this open sort of farmland. That'll be fine. Little tracks and whatnot, that isn't really forested, so that won't be very much. Found this version to be more RNG, swing, and random compared to the ancient Field of Glory computer game. Units go running off, causing all kinds of mayhem and havoc beyond player control. Not a bad thing, just takes getting used to. Yes, hello, Blast. Pop. And everybody who's just showing up, we will be playing Hearts of Iron 4 after this battle. So I just feel like doing something a little different to start out the stream. I'm not going to jump back and forth between titles in the middle of it. Yeah, command and control is an interesting topic for this type of warfare. Now, particularly obvious with this hill, it is quite easy for your leader to sit somewhere and see functionally the whole battlefield. Like within this game, you can have units hidden in trees or out of line of sight, you know, definitely, because this is line of sight, fog of war type situation. And so, yeah, you can have units that you get either surprised from the enemy or your units are not in control. And then you definitely have morale failures, basically, you know, troops panicking and leaving. Yeah. I'm not trying to deceive people, just we're doing more than one thing. You definitely have that element within this game, but you also have an element with warfare of units becoming very enthusiastic. Particularly, we see that with cavalry type units, horse units that chase after enemies long after. Now, this happens into the Napoleonic. I mean, this happens for wherever there's horse of any number. I can specifically think of a few cases like in the English Civil War, in which, you know, yeah, we won, we're chasing the enemy, we're chasing the enemy, we're chasing the enemy, we're chasing the enemy. And the commander's way back, you know, here going, God damn it, where's my cavalry? We're losing the whole battle. And we've lost the whole battle. And had that cavalry stopped chasing the fleeing enemy cavalry that they chased off at least one wing of the battlefield and swung back around and like hit the enemy in the rear, you would have very likely, can't always say for sure, but very likely swung the battle from a defeat into a tremendous victory. I mean, that type of things happen within warfare. In the pre-radio type communication world, but other types of units can get overly enthusiastic. So I'm going to see about putting some knights over here to try to swing around this side. So let's see about buying a couple of knight units. We bought 3. Let's undo 1 for the moment. We may come back to that. Mounted crossbowman. That looks interesting. I have not used that unit type yet. Now, knights particularly, and these are still in the phase of primarily chainmailed up knights with helmets and shields, but much of the archers and other lighter fighting soldiers, they take very little damage to it. But knights, whether they are knights these are knights mounted. No, it doesn't look like we have in this army list dismounted knights. Sometimes we do. Take limited damage, but they take significant damage from crossbowmen, or as we have some in here, some longbowmen. Those will do significant damage. Hey, frog eyes. Oh, yes, yeah, multiplayer. That's, I think I hear noise. Yes, yes. Hey, Arno. Lum sort of checked out there at the end. Um, I don't know if it was late night or alcohol or late night and alcohol that he checked out at the end. I went back, half an hour later. He was gone from the Discord server, so I gather he woke up or something and wasn't still around. So, yeah, that was funny. Lum checked out. All right, so we still have 463 points. I think we have a lot of firepower troops, some defensive spearmen. What are these? Just other defensive spearmen. I don't know that we're going to use the Glaswegian, or not Glaswegian. I mean, it's, I think, sort of, yeah, Glaswegian, I guess. Glaswegian foot as sort of, these are sort of a Celtic light foot type, or the Irish Kerns. These are obviously similar kind of people coming from Ireland. So much because we don't have a lot of rough terrain, maybe, but we'll see about that. We will have some light archers that I believe we are. Yeah, we can. They're skirmish settings as opposed to the between these and these. Within the rule set, this is a functionally on a battlefield. These two are the same. It's just these are sort of set as open order skirmishers. These are set as a densely packed group of archers shooting the same basic tactics. So we can see how they will. But let's do some okay, Welsh spearmen. Those will be good for possibly pushing off this hill into the enemy. So let's, there we'll get 3 of those. And let's see, spearmen defensive, 36 versus 42. Well, let's grab 2 of these up. Okay, well, let's deploy some of these units in a way and take a look. So they're going to start there. They can easily get to the top of this hill before we can. But let's put some of our skirmishing archers forward here. And yeah, that's fine. Okay, and okay, pull these guys off the front line for the moment. Well, okay. Let's do that, and then some archers. We're going to sort of checkerboard this, or however you want to say it, back and forth. Now these, yeah, these are just archer. These are my Welsh longbowmen. Just, yeah, I only have 1 unit of those. Okay, well, I guess there. Let's pair him. This. Okay, like I've been saying, I think I want to put a bunch of my knights over here for a fairly solid flanking maneuver. Now, on this side of the field, we are fairly open still too. We have some crossbowmen. They'll do well against the enemy's knights. Now over here, because we're gonna, I think, fairly heavily concentrate, like I have been, our horse. Now I'm thinking about, well, let's shift this to here. Okay, we have 229 points left. How to maximize the units out of there? Okay, if we throw in a sergeant unit and put them over here to back up our knights on that side, just another unit. Makes that a little stronger. Light javelin horse. I'm thinking about maybe a mobile. Well, these I think are skirmishers as well. So let's put these guys out. If we set up here, okay, that's an interesting idea. Interesting indeed. Well, if we put in that, at least 35, is there something else we can buy with that 35? 33 some. It's not quite enough for those spearmen. Okay. Now we do have a fairly heavy horse side there, but I think we're gonna have enough points and we're gonna... Nah. Okay. Changing my mind. Let's put these guys... Now let's put these guys here and here. Hopefully the AI won't see them, so they won't anticipate where they are in their deployment. They'll see a lot of these other units up along the front. Guess it could have hidden a lot of units back here. Now we have force over here, not so much here. So I'm going to put these light skirmish guys, well, not so much skirmish guys, but light infantry here, so that they can maybe come and move through the forest or something, or move to this rough ground here and be sort of useful. Okay, so we're going to accept this. We've used all but 2 of the points. Yeah, we're in deployment phase, but I've deployed as we were. Okay, so there's the enemy. That's going to create a nasty echo, I think, so I'm going to put on headphones. Yes. There we go, that should stop the echo. Right, okay. So that's what they've all just basically marched out. They're coming around the lake. As you guys know, I'm a micromanager. So we're going to come out here. These guys can always come back. No, let's come to here. Might as well move along that hill. These guys are going to come out this way. I mean, if you're going to do a flank, let's really do a flank. We've got a lot of dismounted knights in their formation. Those are really tough units to deal with for ground forces. So instead of just blanket moving the whole thing. I know it was sort of kind of could have. Actually, this is sort of working out best. These guys are a little bit back here. I could slow the line up, or some point we'll probably stop. But it's sort of keeping our flank a little bit covered there. Okay, so we have this fairly heavy. Yeah, okay, you guys come to like that. Already deployed. Sort of send you this way. Okay. So now to analyze their line a little bit, we can zoom in. They really tried to do the graphics more in this than the classic era version of Field of Glory, to make them look and sort of feel like the, images from the time period, from the illuminated manuscripts and other sorts of images that they have. You give the whole ground or terrain to give that sort of look and feel, but still sort of there. So they got some knights there, dismounted knights. So those are going to be pretty hard to fight. These defensive spearmen, they're not that bad. Okay, lots of crossbowmen, those can hurt my knights. What are these? Okay, armored defensive spearmen. A lot of knights, those are offensive. A few mounted knight units. That's just a big defensive unit. Doesn't get to attack at all. Okay, they got some knights over here, some knights way back there. So I'm hoping that Our sergeant spearmen here won't do so well against their mounted knights, but we do have 2 units of knights coming up. But these crossbowmen probably will do fairly well. So, yeah, and if these guys, if I can get these successfully out around the flank here, come around the flank on these guys and these, we can really sort of clean up, I think. Okay, let's... Okay, so there are, in a way, I would say, wasting their shots on my skirmishers. You know, these guys shot at this unit here, so what we're going to do is we're going to, these guys turn and shoot, so we're concentrating our firepower a little bit on one unit, weakening that up. Their line is basically broken because the AI didn't come around that water very well. So these guys are going to maximum swing out around the flank. Welsh longbowmen are on rough ground, so they'll defend a little better there, as well as being on the edge of the hill. So these guys are out a little further forward, but that's fine. One of the sort of important things with all of these units is getting them facing the right way, because these formations are not easy to turn radically, so getting them out to the side and having time to turn to then maneuver into their side. So let's end this turn. And these guys are evading, good. What they're supposed to do. Come on, put your shots on camera. Come on, be better. Okay, now, a little bit of a worry here, but we'll see about that in a moment. I don't know if it's worth shooting at that with them. So these guys are going to turn and shoot. That square is still open ground. there. These guys are going to continue to try to move across, I think, before they can get to them. That would not be a good option. Right. Interesting what the AI does with the battle wagon. Yeah, I've played like 4 matches in this before now, so I'm far from an expert, but I've used this standard wagon or battle wagon basically can move around but cannot attack, but it is really, really strong defensively. I don't know if it has any morale options other than that. Steady with anything. So you can move it into a position. It's really I would find it really good to say move it to a flank or someplace and just sort of defy the enemy to attack you with one of those. So I don't know. So we'll see how this goes. They're moving a lot of knights here. We got some crossbowmen. Just if these guys ever get turned around and do a good job with that. Again, come on, keep it on camera. Try and do a good show here. Right, okay. These guys are just turning. That's all they're doing. They're turning. Taking the turn to get turned. No, undo. I think I just want to turn them. So we're making a line here. So we have these two mounted crossbowmen. I don't know how effective they're going to be versus the knights, but that's firepower. If we decide to move out, we got these guys to hold the flank. There's going to move around there, hopefully. Okay, now here. Very weak against the knights. Only one casualty, but still. Not the best option, but I think this unit here is going to successfully allow us to make a turn before these guys can get in at us. Now here. These guys shoot over? Yes, good. I had hoped to. Hello, Seaman Dale, how you doing? Just those that are showing up. Yes, we will be playing Hoi 4 in a while after this battle, but I wanted to play this first. Okay. No, well, doesn't really matter which one we started with. You guys come to here and nope, we're not going to shoot. We only have 3 turns left of ammo. Yeah, we're going to let these guys get a lot closer, I think. Well, these are the knights. Okay, yeah. We need to start with the crossbows on them at least this turn. Ivanhoe, perfect name for this battle. Ivanhoe. Okay, not maybe the quite results that I wanted, but okay, they held back. They fell back, I should say. Okay, good. Yeah, we sort of use those sergeants as that. Hello, Challenger boys. Right, okay. Let's hit these guys now in the flank. Well, not really the flank, but still. Those knights are a bit worrying there. We're gonna move these this way. They're going to get there. Now if these guys come up here and try to just attack again, they're in rough ground, so that does benefit us somewhat. You can see the knights just really aren't taking much damage from the regular bowmen. Now we brought them down a little bit. Okay, now we don't want to attack them when we're standing on that rough ground. So we're going to come just a little... a little bit like this, and I think we'll just come like that. Okay, all we can see here at least is another group of knights. We got some infantry there. So what we're going to see about doing here is moving you to there and pushing up here. Now here, okay, these guys are not going to do well. They're just going to turn. And now they can't turn. This is Field of Glory 2 Medieval. We will be playing Hearts of Iron 4 after I get done with this battle. I just felt like encouraging all of you not to watch me. No, really, I just felt like I wanted to play this battle a little bit more, and I'm gonna not change the screens back and forth. We did fire there. They're standing there. These guys have not done a thing yet. We're going to turn and shoot. Hopefully take down a couple of guys. Good. And we're weakening these knights. They're on their own. So they routed, they're breaking. If that looks like a favorable attack. So we'll do that. Okay, so what? No. We're going to do that yet. What we're going to do is we're going to turn, shoot these crossbowmen. They don't have much backing them up here. We got these Welsh spearmen, which are reasonably good at the offensive. They're going to charge down at these guys. Do a lot more damage to them. Now these guys are going to turn and shoot into the knights there. These guys are just going to hang out there. Well, we will turn and face that way. Okay, well. And shoot them in the face. Not terribly favorable if we attack there. Now they're already disrupted. Very good. You guys keep moving around. That way, you turn, face that way, ready to countercharge. Similarly there. Let's move to the edge of this hill. So if they're going to charge us, they're going to be charging uphill at us. Hopefully that will give us a good advantage, or we can charge down hill at them for hopefully a good advantage. Okay, these guys, well, this is going to go well. Not too badly. Probably should move. Okay, well, they fell back. Actually, that actually works out. Now these guys can charge in there. Good. Didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. Alright. I think that is it. Worked out well. That's working out well. Okay, good. That's what I was hoping for. I don't know if it... Okay, they charged uphill at me. Actually did fairly well. Which is not what I wanted to happen. Oh, come on, let's have it on camera. Okay, well. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to smash into them. Not quite a flank attack, but now it's 2-on-1 there. Keep harassing these guys. We'll let the computer resolve that. We'll just... No, actually we'll undo that. Just because they'll sit there though. They're disrupted falling back. Maybe not the best element for us. Okay, so they've come to here. Let's shoot these guys. They're fragmented now. Okay, they can turn and shoot. Let's move these guys through to the forest here. They're going to turn ready to hopefully get them in the rear. Yeah, it's better to take their attack. Let's turn to face these guys properly. Move to there with them. Now, let's see the number of turns with ammunition. Then they go to. They can still shoot, but they're going to be much weaker if they do so after that. So I'm not going to waste the shot. We're going to just let them chill there for a moment. Okay, our unit there broke. The rest are holding firm. Right, okay, well, before we do that, let's shoot him in the face. Let's shoot these guys in the face. They break, they run. Let's turn that unit there. These guys can... Oh, hello! We found some knights hanging out in the forest. Interesting. Now. Here. Well, I think we'll just... Not quite the victory that I want. Let me think about that. Flank attack, fall back, rear attack, no flank, but fall back, hurt them a little bit. It's not necessarily a good attack, but we're just committing everything we can to this here because it's not going to go well, whatever we do. Yep, let's go for this. Right, okay, well. I'm glad they held firm. Not doing as well as I'd hoped. good. Somebody's rallying. While others are fleeing. Right, well, shoot them in the back. And charge them. Yes, charge them. Partially turned. Now these guys in the forest. Yeah, they're probably gonna be a not overly great option, but oh no, they're actually being disrupted. Wow, just one engagement. Now here. Let's come up to here. Here we're gonna, okay, we're now on low ammunition already, so well, I think we're gonna just continue to use our firepower there for the moment. They're fragmented now, very good. Now over here on our sort of failed, hit them in the rear. Wow, they're actually stayed in contact. Very good. Yeah, low ammo, so might as well shoot even though they do no damage. Yeah, these guys are all fired. Right, okay, very good. They're routing. They're going to, well, hold firm for the moment. From such good beginnings to such muddles. They're breaking, running, good. Oh wow, our knights up there rallied. They're dispersing. They're out of here. Right. Okay, well, these guys in the forest. Rear attack. Okay, that did well. Turn, face that way. Yep, just turn. Get ready to go after somebody in the rear, hopefully. Right up to them and throw a javelin at them. I'm not surprised these guys haven't broken yet. These guys are going to hit them. Now here. Well, that worked. You know, I think it is time to attack here. Might be unfavorable odds, but they've been messed up so heavily already. But they've got to be really hurting. Oh, very good. They're disrupted. All right, let's... Will they be able to pull this off? We can see the progression. We're even with each other at the moment for winning and losing. And they're fragmented. These guys will do even better. break, they're done. Okay, well, fortunately all the rest of you guys really didn't need to follow them, but oh well. Right up here and shoot them in the face. I think keep them from turning by being there. Well, they're disrupted now. These guys coming from the top. Yeah, I think we're going to bring them in just to be the third unit pushing on them hard. Just get to the... Hello, Cyrillic dude. How you doing? Russian, I presume? Take them in the flank, see what we can do. Not a smart move here either, but just trying to occupy their time. Let's face this way at least. We're actually now doing a little better. Oh, they auto-break. They're routing. Hopefully we'll see those guys back. Sometime they'll come back to the battlefield. Ours, I mean. Wow. How things keep turning and changing. Okay, well, turn around here. You turn around here. Now if these guys have turned to face here, well, let's... fresh unit into this melee here. I'm gonna do it just to pin these guys. Now that they're disrupted, good. Maybe we can really do some good there. Yeah, I think that is basically it for this turn. Uh-oh, their general fell. Good news for us. They auto-break and run away, very good. Their break, they're routing. Right, good. Well, already on low ammo, so might as well shoot. These guys are doing well in that forest. Let's try another charge to the side of these guys. They break good. That means now we're only fighting these guys that we're not going to do well. They guess we're too disrupted to attack. Yeah, I'm still playing this battle. Okay, well. Turn around. Turn around. Okay, well, I'm gathering this is not terribly popular with all of you guys. So I think we will end this here. I do want to thank your indulgence. I will be back. We will switch games, but I want to save this. To Hearts of Iron Fort. Okay, save. Okay. Okay. Quitting game. Yes, you see a black screen. I know you see a black screen. It is intended to be black because we're going to load up Hearts of Iron Fort. Come on. The damn paradox. God damn, people. Oh, we need a loading screen that takes longer to start the goddamn loading screen. It says logging in, logging in, logging in, circle thing, than it freaking does to start the actual game. Oh, but we want to send you an ad in the beginning of it. Ugh. Ugh. Logging in, logging in. Let me just change this. Oh, here we are. Okay. Well, still changing this to switching games here. Okay. Okay. Play sets is what I think you're referring to now. Okay, we're going to disable Gathering Storm. We're going to enable World Ablaze. We're going to come up here, home to play. Okay, while this is loading in, I will be right back. Okay, we're getting loaded in. Back to games, there we go. There we go. All right, we're back to Italy here. Now, on the 16th or thereabouts, maybe it'll be the 17th or something, I will be streaming the new DLC for Imperator Rome. Oh, should probably stop that. And so just keep that in mind if you're interested to seeing how the new DLC changes things. And it's some dramatic changes from some of the live streams I've seen so far. But we'll be playing that then. Okay. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of, yes, Hearts of Iron 4. This is the World Ablaze mod, and we are playing as Italy. Seeing how this mod handles the Italian viewpoint. Come on, load graphics. All right, well, good. let's build a couple of these synthetic refineries. Those will probably come in useful at some point here. So let's get that going. We are currently almost all full up on fuel, but I think in the long run it will be useful. I know we're still just in 38. We have sure distracted the enemy to have a lot of forces down here. But we're going to be sending these guys. We got a... Wow. "14 divisions. Excuse me. One with Matilda tanks. Wow. Crusaders. More Matilda tank divisions. Yeah, that's going to be a bit difficult. So we're going to move these 4 divisions up to here, because we're going to see about doing a naval invasion there eventually. And we're still, of course, fighting here in there. Soldiers were worried about the pinging of the M1 Grant. Yes, they were. Pinging of M1 Grant. Man, it's so easy, Martin Smith, to distract me of things. Now, a lot of soldiers learned, you know, they knew about the pinging of the M1 Grant. And it does and it doesn't matter. And it can be helpful. It doesn't matter when you've got 10, you know, you got a squad of American soldiers. They're not all going to, like, if you have a, you know, if they're not panicking, they're not going to go all ping, 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 ping of the en bloc clip pinging out when the gun goes empty, because some are going to ping out and the rest are going to have some rounds in their magazines still to shoot. So it doesn't really matter when you are in a group of soldiers so much. It is worrisome when you're sort of the single soldier or one of like 2 guys and they hear, you know, bang, 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 ping. Oh, he's out of ammo. So the other guy, you know, he can pop up with his bolt action rifle or pop up and throw a grenade knowing you can't shoot him. Now, it doesn't mean you necessarily have a good line of sight on the target, because it also tells him, I'm out of ammo. So, you know, he can duck down to reload it. So it matters there. Now, what a lot of soldiers in more experienced outfits would eventually do is carry an empty M block clip. And whether it was squeezing it between their fingers or somehow like squeezing it on the receiver or something, make it ping off. So that the Germans, those are the main people they're fighting, a little bit of the Italians, but mostly the Germans, that it would ping off. And then they would go, ah, he's out. And the guy would just be sitting there waiting for the enemy to pop up, and then bang, bang, take them out. So that's where it can be used. If you have an enemy that is experienced at fighting you and listening for that, you can trick him into a bad position. That can be done too. So yes, it is a concern. Of the large-scale production weapons, small arms in World War II, non-crew served, you know, so I'm talking rifles, pistols, submachine guns. Basically, the M1 Garand is the best weapon out there in World War II. Like, note I just say large production scale, because you're gonna have like the guy from Forgotten Weapons, Ian, was showing off his new modern manufacturer FG42 that he had just gotten on one of his videos. Damn lucky guy. You know, okay, the FG42 is a near a wonder weapon as well, and of course the Sturmgewehr, yeah, is starting to get into that mass production kind of thing. So that's. Yeah, it is. So maybe it's better, but at worst, the M1 Garand is tying for mass production being the best. Have you seen the new game, War on the Sea? It looks fairly good. No, I have not. I have not seen that yet, so I guess Arno has and likes it. Cool. Maybe I'll take it out. I'll take a look at it sometime. So maybe somebody mentioned it before. I have not checked it out yet. Okay. Let's see here. I don't care about a rocket scientist, theorist as Italy. So, Air, Navy, Chief of the Navy, Military High Command. Yeah, let's go for this because we have at least one mechanized unit currently fighting in Spain. Okay, so we have 24,000, so we should get some more units. The 4th International in training, more infantry divisions. How are we doing? I know we're using up tanks and whatnot. Do we have any in production? Do we not have any tanks in production? Wow. No, we do. The L3, okay. Why am I just missing it? Oh, here it is, light tank. Okay. Computing machine. No, I don't think we'll start another motorized or mechanized or armored division in training up now. Okay. We're still in 38, so we've got all the way across there. We're doing that one there. I guess we should see about better artillery options for us. Okay, so we're up here.
Pronto, signore.
Wow, we just don't have much in the way of good generals. Okay.
Comandi. Pronto.
Basic medicine, yay. We know how to do bandages now. What do you know? These all suck so badly. What the hell was Italy thinking about going into a world war? I mean, really, what the hell were they thinking about? Yeah, what naval strike tactics? Nations don't always get to... Oh, we've cleared out that pocket. Okay. Come over to there. I think we'll come to this side of the river. Well, let's put you on trains. Let's get you there in a timely manner. Put you also on trains. You know, nations don't always get the choice about whether they go to war. Like, I know the Dutch really wanted to stay out of World War II, and won, of course, but they were unable to stay out of World War II. And so you don't always have that choice, and I totally get that, but Mussolini took the choice to go into the war. Now, there were many elements that knew that they couldn't meet the basic needs of the armed forces, as it were, in peacetime. And yeah, I know they were, you know, they entered the war as the Germans are entering. Okay, Libyan infrastructure. Well, I guess we'll start on that. You know, Germany was basically entering peace, or Paris, and so, you know, hey, the war's almost over, let me just get into it. But still, they knew the yeah, let's go with Pact of Steel. They knew the British were still in the war to a degree, and now I think they sort of kind of thought they'd pick up stuff in the Mediterranean from it, but still. Okay, you help that, you come to here. Maybe we can break this line. Okay, where is our air power here in... Nope, our air power's over here. So let's... Well, this game needs more air bases. I forget which king it was, but won the Munich Agreement. Very nice. One ancient Greek king went to the Oracle at Delphi, which I think is what, somewhere in here. Went to the Oracle and asked, what will happen if I go to war with this other... Oh, we need more coal. Okay. We need more coal. That will help us out, hopefully. If I go to war with this other ancient power. And the answer was, oh, the Germans are standing there looking pretty. No, that wasn't the answer. The answer was, a great kingdom will fall. And of course, that king took it to mean the enemy kingdom will fall. But his kingdom ended up falling because of the war. And this is something that, you know, most people who govern us, at least in America, do not have the requisite education to govern us. I'm just sorry about that. And I'm not talking, oh, Democrats or one side or the other. I'm talking both, you know, Ted Cruz is one of the few, I would say. You don't have to like Ted Cruz personally. You don't have to like his policies. You can hate both of them. But he is well enough educated to govern us. I'm just impressed with some of the stuff he says at times. But, you know, Mussolini should know, I forget the you know, what is it, Epirus or whoever went in and asked that. To know that going into war, you don't know the outcome, even when it looks like, oh, hey, we've, you know, it's nearly over, we're just going to come in. Things can change, things can shift. Yeah, aerial mining, that might be cool. Okay, now we went over to newer fighters, so these are our fighters, which we only have 3 factories here. We're going to go over to the newer model. Just get that. That's why we've sort of pushed ahead. And they need to be educated. They still will make bad decisions, because all leaders make bad decisions at some point. The better ones try to learn from them. Defending Bulgaria. German military cooperation. Yep, we'll do this. Because I'm of the belief that had Italy stayed neutral in World War II, it would have been a lot more beneficial for Germany than for it to go to war, to join the war. Because it could be a major friendly but neutral power to Germany, strong enough that France and Britain would not want to attack it. It could trade with the rest of the world, the neutral world, and of course its own resources, and trade up into Germany with that. And it would be strong enough that they wouldn't want to add it to the mix. And of course that means, yeah, okay, if you defeat France, you may have to worry about the southern front down here, whether it's Vichy or not. But it sort of takes the whole Mediterranean out of the issue. And so that area can stay at peace. And you don't have to waste resources as Germany on it. Wow, the Germans are already down here. Are they going to do more than just stand around and look pretty once the war gets kicked off? We'll see, but how interesting. Maybe they pinged it off their helmets. Maybe that's what I remember about the M1 Garand. That could have been it. Can you send an attaché to Japan or China? That might be of interest. We have the points and they will accept. Good idea, Arna. Very good idea. That way we can see what's going on a little better. And then, okay, now our attachés will be sent where they please. So we can see what's going on here and get a little experience out of it. So basically Japan down here is more or less, there's 2 divisions there and a couple divisions there, down to sort of 1 division fronts along a lot of this, but up here they have a bunch more. But the communists are going to be, well, no, they're not even, this isn't even the communists yet. That is. So we'll see how this goes. I guess the Germans had a proper plan for North Africa taking Suez, Axis could kick the British. Oh yes, Bevan Alexander. He is a strategic historian. I really like his work. Read several of his books. Okay, well we're already sort of into December. I'm going to wait a little bit, just wait a few more days. We'll build up here so it won't hurt us. And he's very much, and I already have the thoughts of it, but he very much believes that Germany could have taken the Mediterranean, focused the second half of 40 and all of 1941, and taken the Mediterranean instead of going into the Soviet Union. And had they done that, it would have materially changed the outcome of the war. Not necessarily saying, oh, for sure Germany would have won the war or anything like that, but not having to garrison so much of the coastlines, done, various naval operations, both air and surface fleet operations, but going after that. Because if you look at this here, you can shut down Gibraltar and presumably keeping Spain neutral. Sure, the Allies can land here. They did land here, but they also, when they did land here, they also landed at Algiers and Oran. So, but they couldn't do that if you held Gibraltar and had enough air power. They could land here. Now, fighting your way through these mountains here, the Atlas Mountains, is going to be a lot tougher, and it's something that Germany, along with the Italian backing them up, can probably hold, because there's significant port facilities and there's some railway here, but not much. There's no railway deep into here, so you're only going to do so much supplies, and you're sort of right here along for resupply yourself. You can base a lot of air power here, and it's sort of a narrow front, if you will. Now out here, you can get across this desert. You can come up the Tigris, but still that's a long sort of fight here. And if Germany can push into here, this really is a no-go for coming across here, and I don't know how much they want to fight in Iran. And if you push into here, this is going to be so much easier to hold these 3 points. Hold here somewhere, down in here somewhere, and out here. That's going to be so different. I don't know that. I don't know that the U.S., because, okay, we're talking Germany here, not just Germany with backed up by Italy somewhat, if it's done right, not relying upon Italy to do it. So we're not talking about facing Italy versus America. If at the point of impact, here, and somewhere, here, wherever it would be, if at the point of impact you can get roughly equal size of German forces and American forces, Germany can hold its own. And if we're talking about not having to supply too many other places in these sort of localized positions, they can sort of match the effective amount of munitions coming in, because you can only bring in so much munitions across here and across here to fight. It's not, the U.S. can outproduce them in munitions, but it's getting them to the battlefront. And if Germany can, especially once you secure here and you're threatening, if not actually pushing up this way into the Soviet Union when you attack on day one or very close thereafter, if you knock the Soviet Union out, it's going to be very hard for the U.S. to successfully invade the European continent. So that materially changes what's going on with the war. There's still ways we can see that the U.S. can win, absolutely, but it changes dramatically. So our goal here is, I don't know, well, we very well may, okay, a couple more days. May be able to try to do a naval invasion of Gibraltar and take it, and try to take out Suez, and see if we can land here in Alexandria and push down to here quick enough. That puts all of these guys out of supply. So if we just hold sort of Tobruk and keep them from capturing any other ports, even before we take Suez and or Gibraltar, we cut these guys off and they die. So that is a potentially significant outcome. Okay, January 1, get it, all the research at the best modifiers. By doing that, it's sort of as if all this had happened in 39 instead of happening some in 38 at a slower rate of research. Oh, okay.
Formazione. Ordini.
Okay, keep pushing, pushing. Maybe we'll race into Barcelona there. Anything materially change? Okay, well, there we go. We didn't even get a chance to get to Barcelona and they surrendered. So our expeditionary forces will be coming home. And then, okay, we'll no longer, well, by much, consuming. So let's look at another fast division. Well, let's, yeah, train one up. So location here in Genoa. Well, I guess that's reasonably all right for what we currently can produce. So I'm not really overly optimistic at pushing through this fortified line as Italy. I don't really care enough about it. That's just going to be there to hold. Military cooperation, aerial mine laying, treaty with Germany, well, research synthetic resources. Gee, well, let's see what Libyan refineries. Oh, let's do the refineries. So we're going to do what we can to, well, fickle Germany. Where did all of his forces that he sent down here go? Integrated support, that's nice. Still researching that, but we want to come over here and improve our resource efficiencies.
Formazione.
Trade of Czechoslovakia. Okay, you guys come to Rhodes.
Formazione.
And we now have the dockyard here. Let's get those into production. Just do we really need more? Yeah, I guess. Okay. There we go. Balances things out a little bit better.
Comandi. Pronto.
Well, I think we need to continue to expand our air production. Yeah, let's also see about this is, hold it, pause. Outdated, yeah, but which one is which? Okay. This one here is 75, so that's probably the 75. 34 it is. It's going to upgrade that. Now this 100 is the heavier artillery. So I'm guessing it is the heavy artillery. Which is easier to this? Is this heavy artillery? I guess. Okay. Yeah. So got that. And close air support. I guess this is also close air support. Just gonna make sure least disruption. Okay, so now we're basically on the newest. You can see, well, that was a pretty heavy hit there. Oh no, damn it, 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 damn it. Loop. Auto save. Oh, I click. This is why I hate the way some of this stuff works in Hearts of Iron 4. This game had so much fucking promise. My god, they just have to fuck everything up, don't they? Okay, so here, let's show outdated effing equipment. Okay, outdated equipment, 100. What is this? What? Okay, yes, it's outdated. Now cancel this. Cancel. When I'm hovering over here, okay, where? I'm here. Well, I don't know. Okay, so this is 1, 2. Okay, yes, we can see these are all artillery. Okay, heavy artillery, heavy artillery. You see, I hover over this thing, it's just saying heavy artillery. Or just saying dated. Outdated. We already have some of these in production. So towards the I definitely see like anti-tank and anti-air, heavy artillery, but this is just saying outdated. Is this outdated? What the hell? So let me come over to research here. I wish this was just better organized. Okay, so these are okay. So the 117 is just regular artillery. Okay. Okay, see that's, and then this is the heavy artillery. All right. Hey, Matsuova? Zwalf? Matsualf? Okay, Soviets towards the end were caught up in technology. No, I wouldn't say so. No, the Soviets never caught up on technology, in my opinion. Not to the Germans, no. They, they made their technology that they did work effectively. That's what they did do. But they didn't catch up. Okay, so these are old artillery pieces. We're just going to leave those old artillery pieces in production. These are the newer artillery pieces standard. We're going to update them to the latest standard here. Okay, so mass numbers, keep those cranking. Higher quality units, keep that going. Okay, here we're going to come to here. We already got the better fighters. Keep those outdated. This is World Ablaze, and we're playing yes as Italy.
Pronto.
Somehow all these guys got under him. Fine.
Formazione.
Okay. Yes, formazione. Whatever the hell that means.
Ordini. Attento.
Well, should these all be under him? Nah.
Formazione.
God. I hate whoever picks this color palette for Paradox. Okay. Now we have him here with lots and lots of metals, capability, Desert Fox. Okay. He got ground up pretty damn heavily in that Spanish War. Yeah, I understand a lot of people like playing the Soviet Union. Sure thing, Martin Smith. It means formation, yeah. Okay. What is this? Okay, it's that. It's the little bit of armor with infantry.
Signore. Avanzate. Ordini.
no. These guys. Plan a naval invasion from here to here. So hopefully they can get ashore there when the time comes. These guys will come in afterwards once the landing has been made into Alexandria. Well, yeah, I understand. You don't like playing as Italy? No. I can understand many good reasons why it would be frustrating to do so. Okay, well now we can step down into here, I believe. Okay. Deep operations, recovery organization, encirclement, surplus card attack, breakthrough, attack. Yep, I think that's the one we're going to follow. There. Okay, air doctrine research speed, which we are in strategic destruction, so we don't want a theorist for operational integrity doctrine. Just air doctrine research speed. Okay, that's the one we will want to have. Oh yeah, no, I get the idea. Troops to Albania. Yeah, we'll see about that. We're gonna do it. It's just sort of lower priority. Or no, but yeah, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier before you got here, that Italy was just not prepared for the Second World War and should not have voluntarily entered it. Basically, under no circumstance. Okay, I'm not saying we've got any great number of forces here. Who okay, let's come here. Let's have blue. There we go. There we go. So we have the mountain guys under him. The rest. I guess we can move these guys to Albania. We want at least 3 units to cover the front with Greece. Okay, Libyan refineries, something that they didn't have. Okay, but nice for us to have. Oh, yeah, no, well, yeah, no, we can't build a proper tank. I mean, we can build some tanks, and we're going to have some, but... yeah, but I'm not even saying hindsight, because I was saying before, is they knew they had all kinds of problems with equipping the Italian divisions prior to going into war. It's not even a hindsight kind of thing. Yeah, I like I said, I know they thought the war was almost over with France and Britain was probably going to do a deal and whatever. Yeah, sure, but still, they knew they weren't prepared for a real war. It's one thing to go after Albania and Ethiopia, and they were prepared for those type of things. But beyond that, not really. They just weren't prepared. Yeah, we can start conscripting more people. Let's add yeah, I don't know if it's worth that. Very interesting. Thanks, Ivanhoe. Yeah, no, I do know that the Italian Navy was the best branch of the armed forces effectively. But I also know they did not, they were too afraid to risk it. There's no, well, there's not a lot of good points in having a spending okay, yeah, this is how I should say it. There is not a good reason to spend a lot of money on a navy if you're unwilling to risk it. Okay, now there may be reasons to spend significant amount of money on a navy simply by going like, yeah, whether you keep it at Taranto or up at Naples, here in Naples Harbor. I still remember that when I was traveling the first time in Europe on a little boat ride around Naples Harbor as part of the guided tour thing, seeing the U.S. Navy, a big chunk of the U.S. Navy in Naples Harbor. So I know that harbor can house a rather large Navy force. So to to have a naval force sitting here going, yeah, if I see an invasion fleet heading for Rome or some other important spot, I will send out my fleet and battle your fleet. So don't you do it, kind of thing. Okay, you can build a navy like that. You don't have to spend huge amounts of money building a navy battle. Notice Germany has already moved in some submarines into the Mediterranean. So you can, and also up here. Interesting, the AI is doing it. Hey, call me. So that you can build something of a navy to go, hey, if you try to do a naval invasion, I'm going to do something about that. Okay, that's one thing. But to put your primary emphasis of your military spending, it's maybe not quite that extensive, but it's very significant within fascist Italy, is the buildup of the Navy. To go that route and then being unwilling to risk it in a high seas battle for the control of the Mediterranean is just not the thing to do. Because and I understand, this is what you got to sort of look at from the mindset of, and I don't know who was making, I just don't know enough about Italy in World War II to really talk intelligently on some of these topics, but I don't know who was making the decisions on naval operations, whether that was Mussolini or some admiral. I really don't know. But I get the idea that when a big ship sinks, it's going to take years, probably multiple years, to replace, and it's going to be expensive to replace. I get that. Where if you lose a bunch of aircraft, they're not going to take years to replace the next aircraft. Now, it depends on how many aircraft you're going to lose, and you can, it might take a long time to rebuild a couple hundred aircraft, but they're, multiple things. They're not going to take as long, and individually they're not as expensive. So I get that. And big ships are expensive. And they take a long time to make. So like, hey, yeah, 2 years from now, I want a ship. This is one thing these games are woefully inadequate on doing, because most players go, oh, damn it, I just had my fleet sunk. I better build replacements. What? It's going to take 2 years to get more ships? And they're not thinking like, well, 2 years, hell, I'll win the war in a year, so I'm not going to build any ships. They just don't think in the terms that you have to for proper Navy. And it's really only the U.S. that brings it up faster than that. I'm talking for like capital ships. and they get it's sort of a miracle builds basically, and it's only rarely that they actually sort of do it in 30 days for a Liberty ship. But there it's probably often more like 90 days or something. But even then, that's sort of a deceptive element. So, wow, another 50 subs up here. Man, Gamer's about ready to have a fucking meltdown here. Okay, but try to keep away from the meltdown maybe, but I know it's entertaining for some. And so so what, if you like, and as Ivanhoe was saying, you really couldn't replace the losses. Well, Britain can't either. And they can do it better than most other nations, not all other nations, but most other nations. But they realize to control the seas, they have to be willing to engage the enemy in battle. And they lose the hood. Going in surface fleets was going after the Bismarck. They lose ships. They're willing to lose ships. The U.S. is willing to lose ships. Japan is willing to lose ships. Germany is not willing to lose ships. That's why they give these ridiculous orders. Go out, sail around, sink some enemy convoys, but don't you risk your ship in battle. Run away from the enemy if there's a real threat. Sort of. They risk it once in World War I significantly with the Jutland, or Jutland, however you want to say it. Battle of Jutland. But thanks for following the channel. So, it's that kind of thing that Britain, and I think France to a degree, and definitely America and definitely Japan, are willing to risk their fleets in action. And the only ones that in the middle of wartime can readily rebuild their fleet is the Americans. But the British and the Japanese are willing to risk it because that's what they built it for. They didn't build it to just sit around and harbor. Italy builds the fleet. What are they thinking? Literally. Yeah, what are they, what are the Italian, is it just the Italian naval guys are going, I'd like to be a captain of a ship, and another one's going, I'd like to be a fleet admiral, and we can only do that if we have ships to be captains of and fleet and admirals of. But oh God, no, I'm never going into combat. This thing is too fucking precious to risk getting paint scratched on it, because then I won't be an admiral anymore, because if I have my fleet shot at an enemy. And what are the political leaders who are funding these things thinking? Mostly fascists at this point. Why are they building this fleet? Is it just purely, man, if we sail these big ships around, everybody's going to think, ooh, Italy's cool. It's got battleships. It's powerful. Is that, but oh God, we can't, war? Oh, if there's a war, we're locking these up in the closet and putting them away. We aren't going to use them in no war. War, hell no. Is that what they're thinking when they're spending all this money at building these things? You build a navy, unless you're the Americans or the British, which are global navies at the times when they're being built. Not anymore for the British, but back in the day. You build a navy to fight everywhere for them. Everybody else, build a navy to fight in the environment that you're going to be in. And so Italy is not building a navy to fight in the Pacific. It might get ticked off at Siam because Siam impounds, they swim out in some rowboats and impound some Italian, merchant vessels, and Italy goes, shakes their fist. No, you got to free our sailors and our ships, and realize, okay, we got to somehow get some ships out here to beat up on Siam or something like that. Yeah, that might happen. But that's not what they're building the Navy for. They're building the Navy is to operate in the Mediterranean. So they don't need to like be able to leave Britain and sail up and down the U.S. West Coast bombarding West Coast ports. Isn't that like War Plan Orange or something like that for Britain? If they went to in the 1920s, went to war with the U.S., just they were making plans for all kinds of things. Not that I don't think they thought it was likely to happen, but just making plans. So they don't need to operate this far away from it. They just need to operate in here. Okay, that's all they're doing. That's all they're building a Navy for. So look at where you're going to fight. Okay. So, well, you have these immobile aircraft carriers, islands, once you get Albania, but around here, and you got Rhodes and a couple of little junky islands out here. So you got air power. You can build submarines. You can build cruisers. And if the enemy big battle fleet of 12 big battleships with their big, I don't know what they would be, 12-inch, 14-inch, it's the Americans end up with 16-inch and the Japanese end up with 18-inch guns. But, whatever, 12 big battleships coming towards us. Just get a bunch of aircraft and go bomb them. I mean, my God, you got a lot of light cruisers. You go, oh, there's the enemy ships. Send out the radio message of where those ships are and run away. And just have the air bombers come in and bomb them. I mean, really, you're building a Navy to fight in the Mediterranean. Okay? And this is the age of the aircraft. And Italy is one of the premier builders of seaplanes. They for years until the guy who what's his name, who builds the Spitfire or designs the Spitfire, finally comes and takes the trophies away from Italy, sending down for Supermarine. That's why the Supermarine Spitfire comes out of Supermarine, because it was a Marine seaplane aviation company that was designing it. I mean, it ends up not, the Spitfire is not a Marine aviation, but that's why it's Supermarine. I'm forgetting his name. But the Italians are leading edge in the 1920s and the early 1930s on seaplane racing. It's a big sport that they push, and so they're doing great engines. They're doing great designs for this operation, and it really isn't until I'm blanking on his name, comes along and takes some of the trophies away from them. And so they know with this air power, they know what it can do, but they build this Navy that they're not going to use because they're too afraid of it sinking. Now, okay, but you don't necessarily just throw the Navy away by, oh, there's enemy ships out there, let's go fight them. No, you have a plan. What are you going to do that's worth sinking your ships and going into combat? We're going to charge out here, control this part of the Mediterranean, and we're going to naval invade Egypt. Okay. So even if you, as long as you don't lose, even if you're, because the British mindset is, we don't really care. I mean, they care, but we're willing to have our fleet on the bottom of the ocean floor so long as we win the naval battle that puts it there, meaning both sides can go down, because then after we do that and sink your big fleet, we're going to be able to, with all of our small vessels and all of our merchant marine, run our ships all over the oceans. So even if you sink our big fleet, I mean, they care, but they're willing to have it sunk so long as we're victorious and equally sinking the enemy fleet. Okay, you can sink our fleet so long as we get to sink your fleet, because in essence we sort of have two fleets, because we'll still have a second fleet left because we build two of them basically for Britain. And So even if our fleet sinks, we'll end up controlling the ocean. So they're willing to do that. So Italy should have goals in mind to go. We're going to war. We're going to go to the battle. Even if our fleet sinks, so long as our naval invasion is, successful, we're good. I mean, we're not happy, but we're good. We've landed. We've done it. We won. Okay. If they have that kind of mindset, fine, good, have it, use it. Otherwise, don't go building a big fleet, spending all that money on it, because you don't need to. Okay, you don't need to do so. Now, we're going to go on a relatively short rant here, and I want to say up front, I think Uncharted sort of is a bit of a friend in an internet sort of way. He's the primary maker of this mod. This is a relatively good mod, shall we say. But we're going to say right now, this mod sucks. Now, it may be just it sucks less than a bunch of other mods out there. Okay. But this mod sucks. It just does. What the fuck? We've got 50 German submarines here. What the fuck? We got 58 German submarines over here. We've got 10 here. Another 10 here. What the ever-living hell is this? That's what, 100, almost 130 submarines. And what did Germany wish they had starting at World War II? It was like 100 submarine fleet. They had like 30 submarines. Okay, and Uncharted is with me in trying to make a historically realistic game, okay? Yeah, run away. Gamer's meltdown is coming. So how, in April 39, how does Germany have the resources to build that many submarines? Now, I can hear you saying, well, maybe the AI didn't build, the Graf Spee and the Bismarck and the Tirpitz and the Gneisenau and the Scharnhorst and whatever, that they were sort of either they started before 1936 and were still building, not completed by 36, but started building in 36, or were built. Maybe they've refocused that. But really? Especially now we're looking at here when I'm playing as Italy. This is what's the real problem is with Hearts of Iron generally, is inflation. Inflation. Oh yeah, I'm Britain and I have 200 divisions. Or something. And you can look at some of multiplayer, or I've got 50 divisions or whatever the hell. How can anybody tell me approximately how many divisions the U.S. sent overseas in World War II? I'm sort of saying is that not the divisions that were sort of maintained only at home, but sent overseas at World War II. Can anybody guess? Or no, give a guess if you can't answer, just so somebody gives a guess. If nobody knows, just give a guess of how many divisions the great and all-powerful United States Army sent overseas. And this is both the European theater, the Pacific theater, everywhere on the world. Okay, Call Me really doesn't know. That's fine. I want Arno to at least guess. He's moderator here, and if he's hearing. just make a guess. Around 30. Okay, that's a guess, yeah. Around 30 divisions is what he's saying. Anybody else have a guess? LP? I don't, unless that's supposed to be sticking your tongue out. I don't know what that is. Martin? Okay, the 10. Okay. Now, the U.S. during World War II decided its maximum deployed number of divisions was going to be 100. Okay, so that is the maximum the U.S. Yeah, but 100 divisions the U.S. sent out. Why 100? What was the reason for the size of 100 divisions? It was because of shipping. They believed that they could only effectively maintain in the field, properly equipped, 100 divisions with the shippings that they had available. Not that they couldn't raise more units. Not that they couldn't make more rifles and tanks. Not that there weren't more men to train up to send into the meat grinder of war. They just looked around and go, we can only supply 100 divisions around the world, because you got to understand, when Britain is fighting in Burma, the soldiers, they're getting a lot of their food from India. Because partially it's the Indian Army, partially it's the British Army in India, out here. Those are two different things. The Indian Army and the British Army in India. Those are two different organizations. But they're also having the Ishapur. I'm not sure where, is it over here? I don't know where Ishapur is in India. You have the Ishapur arsenal, which makes rifles like the Enfield rifle. It makes a Vickers machine gun that's very much like a Bren gun. Just generally it looks the same, but it's mechanically different. They just went through a different, same caliber, went through a different process of choosing the design and went with the Vickers. So it's a small arms manufacturer in Ishapur arsenal, plus they also make ammunition. So they're making ammunition and rifles locally. They're getting a lot of their food locally. The U.S. soldiers here, I'm sure, did pick up local food. I'm sure it did. But the plan was, and basically what was happening, and food gets diverted to other things, was the soldier here, here on the edge of Burma, or once they go into the Burma theater, is being supplied from here, or here, or here. His food is coming from here. It is being, whether it's turned into like C rations and K rations that you're sort of used to hearing from in the movies, or whether it's refrigerated beef, or just simply whether it's flour or it's wheat. It's being grown out here in a middle of America and sent to Burma. Plus, they're sending all the Lend-Lease and other supplies to here. And so they're doing a lot of other shipping. So it's the shipping capacity, the literal ships, plus the port facilities and all that auxiliary ability to move around. So and obviously they're sending lots of supplies into Iran that go into Russia. They're sending supplies coming this way to going into Russia, and they're flying in supplies coming this way going into Russia. Yeah, they're doing all kinds of stuff, supplying other nations, including Britain. But for the U.S., wherever you're going in the world, basically they're being supplied out of the middle of America to some degree. Okay, their ammunition's being made here. So everything is being globally transmitted. So they decide that 100 divisions is as much as they want to do. Okay. Now, what we have in this game is not necessarily or mostly not the situation of, and this is part of the reason they gamers having a meltdown here. Hope you're enjoying this. I once counted the number of provinces territorial squares, whatever you want to call these, in the Netherlands, in Hearts of Iron 3 and Hearts of Iron 4. There was approximately one half the number that there was in Hearts of Iron 4 than there were in Hearts of Iron 3. Now, they will tell you that that is because, one, the sort of computing power, dealing with the AI, dealing with all of the processes, that the more provinces you put, because I know they sort of have a max number, at least in Hearts of Iron 3, max number of provinces you can have in a game. And they will tell you as well, down here in Africa, and down here in South America, in Hearts of Iron 3, the provinces are ridiculously big, and they're just not done that well. So, and they probably have doubled or more the number of, territories or provinces, whatever you want to call them, in like South America. So now, if you invade South America, it's better. Okay. Now, how much invasions happened in South America during World War II? 0. How many in the Netherlands? Well, at least 2 major ones, the German invasion and the American coming back. Okay, so there were lots and lots of battles fought in the Netherlands. There was no battles fought in South America. Where's your priorities at, people? Now, I think the real reason is that they reduced the number of provinces. So, and when you reduce the number of provinces, why don't you just have this as one province? And just have one big stack of army troops, attack one other big stack of army troops. Paradox does that really well. But there's no strategy to it. Just, Army Corps 10, attack Army Corps 8, German Army Corps 10, attack Dutch Army Corps 8, or whatever. There's no strategy. There's no tactics. There's no strategy. It's just blop. Okay. Because their AI fucking sucks so badly that the AI will go, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 border provinces. So I've got to stick 1 man in each of them. So I got to at least have 6 men. So if we double that to 12, I've got to have 12 divisions. I really think so the tactics really change. So the AI is just so fucking bad, and it really is fucking bad still to this day, that they can't think of, if I put 1 guy here, 1 guy here, and 1 guy here, and maybe 1 guy there, I can get away with 4 divisions holding the Netherlands. Or, maybe here, here, and here, and here. The AI can't be smart enough to think, this is going to be much better defending here. We have this fortification here. We have this fortification here. Maybe we can hold in this swamp here. They can't even that's just so simplistic of an AI. We're talking dumber than, a doorknob or something, figuring out, my main, my main strategic objectives is my capital, sort of Rotterdam, The Hague, some industry over in here. So yeah, let's defend these 2 areas for these industry, and we're just going to have to give up all of here, but maybe we'll just hold this province here. So the AI can't even think to this level of, I'm not talking about being Patton or Montgomery or Zhukov or whoever the hell. They can't even come up with basic things. So the idea of, we've got 8 divisions. Let's stick them, 2 in each of these spots. No, but if we have 12 provinces and 8 divisions, well, what do we do? Because we're going to have a gap of 4 provinces aren't going to have divisions because we're too stupid of an AI. So I get the idea of what they, of course, could do is have the Dutch divisions be, in essence, brigades, weak units. But even when they're not weak units, we have inflation of divisions and sizes of orders to hold the Dutch border against 200 were needed with support. That would have been the whole Dutch army. Right. And because we know, and I know Arno is smart enough to know this too, that if you're trying to equally hold all these provinces, Germany only has to concentrate on 1 province here, just put a, small enough force, just enough force to sort of keep these guys in place along here, concentrate their forces, and just, charge into the center and, blossom out and punch through it, because you can always overwhelm in one location. So you don't want to hold the whole border. You want to hold, effective spots. And so, it doesn't take, it takes somebody with the intelligence level of an idiot or less to figure out some of that basic things. And they can't come up with an AI that does it. Now, of course, I know people over at Slitherine that can come up with an AI that does it. So and they tell me, oh, well, we want a smarter AI. Oh, well, why can't you just do a battle plan AI that they'll figure out that? Yeah, well, that's, once the player figures out how to come around it, we want a more dynamic, smarter AI, which they can't do. I mean, that's what they've told me, but they can't do it. Okay. So, again, this mod sucks. Now, it may suck the least of all mods, but it still sucks. That somehow Germany, that's the AI Germany, that's supposed to be following, because, again, Uncharted, and I agree with his thinking, is trying to make a historically based mod here. Well, historically, they didn't have anything like these submarines. This number of stuff. Now, why is it all sitting down here in the Mediterranean, all down in the Mediterranean? Huh? What? And he supposedly, I don't know if he's worked on naval AI. He may have. But he is working on the combat AI for ground troops. I know he's doing that. And I think it's somewhat improved. And we can also see here, yeah, that's sort of like Montgomery at his height. How is Britain finding all these units to put here? What did we figure? 6, 8, 14 divisions sitting out in the desert here. And all of these sitting around here. And we don't know how many are at home here, but presumably they're at home. Where are they finding all these divisions? Now, what is also sort of upsetting me, and after this rant, we're going to end the episode here, is this. We're making 1.2 aircraft a week. We're making 1.6 of these, and out of this number of factories. Now, it's not necessarily 2 big, huge factories. These are abstracted. But really? Now, so we have 89, why am I unable to build a freaking Air Force that's anything like realistic? I don't have huge numbers of Air Forces sitting back here. I do have a few units, yeah. Got some units, definitely. But what's going on? Oh, you guys aren't stop operating. Yeah, back to standby. So no, just well, whatever. So what is wrong with this? I don't know. Yeah, gamer lost it. Looking at subs and going, how the hell? Because at first I thought it was like, oh, cute. They put down like 10 or 20 submarines to operate in the Mediterranean, which is actually sort of smart. And it's a tactic I use as a human to sort of like do convoy raiding down here a bit. And it works. And, when Italy is neutral, send, sort of like I'm sort of figuring the idea that they sneakily are in, hidden in ports that they don't sort of admit to being there. They come out of the sea in some sort of, sectioned off part of the harbor that no one can really see. They don't ever fly any German flags. They just, they don't have any markings on the submarines. They don't talk to anybody but a few approved people, and they get resupplied and they keep going in and out, and nobody admits that there's German submarines operating secretly out of Italy, and would Britain and France have gone to war over that? Maybe, but not Britain alone. But, now once Germany's in, or Italy's in the war with Germany, well then, yeah, they'd be operating. But to dump 30 some submarines in the Mediterranean when they really should be out here, because they're going to get cut off from here once that gets shut down. It's more like a what if Germany had more subs. Yes, absolutely, Arno. You should try the total. Oh, hello, Oli. You ought to take a look at my playthrough of the Total War mod and see some truly epic rants of hatred for that mod. Maybe it's improved since then, but I have some truly epic rants of hatred for that mod. How you doing? Nothing personal on that, but I have tried it. It just drives me up the wall even more than this is. Because like I say, this is probably my second favorite mod for Hearts of Iron 4, but it still sucks. So, yeah. No, this is it. Okay, well, this is going to be it for this episode. We're going to keep the live stream going, but for this episode, this will be it. I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for liking. And yeah, sorry, Uncharted, if you ever watch this. Some things that I just go, what the hell's going on? I don't mean to just slam you. Like I say, this sucks, but may suck one of, some of the least of all mods, so maybe that's good to hear. I don't know. So see you guys next time. Okay, we're gonna make another episode here, so don't go away, don't go anywhere. That's partially what I'm making these for, is to take a look at the current state of World Ablaze. So, okay. Welcome back to Italy, 1939 in April. This is Gamer 1745 here, playing Hearts of Iron 4 World Ablaze mod, and like I say, Italy. And before we get into that, if you haven't already, please give this video a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for more great Hearts of Iron videos. And of course, post a comment below. Tell me why I'm so great or why I suck. As long as you tell me why, that's cool. Because I like to know what people like about my videos or what people hate about my videos. It may not change a thing, but at least I know why people aren't liking stuff, and that's cool. I don't expect everybody to like it, but I'd like to know why you don't like it if you don't like it. No, you don't. You just say gamer sucks. Well, it doesn't help me. It doesn't really hurt my feelings, but it doesn't help me, and I don't get anything out of it. If you want to say gamer sucks because he talks too much history and not doing enough gameplay, that's feedback. That's fine. Okay. Defense organization. Recovery rate defense organization. Max entrenchment. I like the recovery rate along with the organization bonuses in that. So I guess we're going to go with that. One of the video series that get some of my best views continuing long after I made them is the Total War series. Because Oli there suggested that I might try it. But it's very popular on my channel. I'm not sure if it's because of my rants or just a lot of people like it and want to see how it's played. But yeah, it is quite popular. And I'm sure if I were to play it again, people would flock to those videos. And of course, I could go on another rant of why wouldn't you sort of set up a defensive line back here? But yeah, we only got 3 provinces. Not too bad of a thing here. I got, what, a division and a, 2 half divisions. Got these light infantry, colonial type, yay. And I got horsey troops that are you know, light kind of hay. Oh, and they put up armored division. Now, again, for historical accuracy, not for gameplay, but there were no armored divisions in 1939. The first one, I believe, was set up in May 1940. So there were no armored divisions. Now, there were lots of cavalry divisions that were, or cavalry units, excuse me. Some may have been formed into divisions, but I think more into brigades. Cavalry units, but they were just like tank units. They weren't a proper, you know, division with infantry, artillery, and tanks in a hey Eric, in a proper balanced format. Okay, treaty with Germany, synthetic fuels, armor, technology bonuses, those are nice. Demand Balearic Islands, no, we're not going to do that. Unhistorical. Something that Italy might have done. Yeah, Eric's here. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, improved Alpenline. We want to get to there before the war starts. We're still in May, so. Yeah, we might as well get the research bonuses early than later. From nowhere, found a page 1 on ammunition. Cool. Cool. Now, what time frame is the field manual from? Okay, improved industry, nice. And construction, nice. Okay. Factory bomb vulnerability, not being bombed to them. I mean, you know, is this World War II or before? Is this Cold War? Or is this, you know, 5 years ago? And all that. Normally it would be in the, as you're probably already looking, some sort of identification early in it. Field manual of 1954 or something like that. I don't know. Research, rubber, oil. Hey, John Beth, how you doing? Oh, it's a pre-war. Cool. That's particularly cool. 1938. Always, whenever you're dealing with any sort of manuals, it's always good to know the context that it was done in. So this is done before World War II starts, before they see what's going on, you know, what the new war actually brings. And that's very, very good look at what Norway is thinking about. I'm doing very well, just been sort of on a bit of a rant before you got here about the mod in Hearts of Iron 4. But otherwise good. So why is France thinking it needs to, probably not, I'm guessing, but Eric does have that superpower of being able to read Norwegian. So why do they think they need to put an armored type division down here when the real threat is up here in Germany? And I'm sure that will help you a lot in your research on your tanks, because obviously tanks have artillery pieces in them. Whether you want to consider them as anti-tank guns and use it, you know, as a basis for your research. Not that you have to do just what they did historically in your alt history, because obviously it is alt history. But okay, but having it somewhat based out of Okay, what was actual really there? Okay, what is this anyways? Iron. United States, where do I want to get my iron from? Nationalist Spain, maybe. Here we go. And maybe we'll get some rubber. Starting to get up there enough. You know, another thing just, of course, comes to mind, Eric, if you read that manual, maybe you should produce a video talking about sort of like, you know, what Military History Visualized does, talking about Norwegian artillery and how it was meant to be used, and then analyze how it was used during the German invasion and see what they did and didn't do. They knew A. Gamer was in charge of Italy for reasons of army divisions. Oh, well, thanks for the confidence, but still. Did Germany in World War II have a lot of battleships and destroyers? No, it had, well, two proper battleships, Bismarck and Tirpitz. They had what they call the pocket battleships. Groth Bay, one other, I'm forgetting the other. Pocket battleship. A pocket battleship is basically sort of like a battle cruiser, but with big set of two big turrets of battleship type guns on a much weaker hull platform. So sort of kind of four, I think, if you go with the pocket battleships. Not the best on the Kriegsmarine, but definitely only two proper big battleships of Bismarck and Tirpitz. Bismarck, along with, I think it's Gneisenau, which is a battle cruiser, leaves somewhere here, comes up to Norway. For some reason, I forget why, it's leaking fuel. So one, it's leaving a trail of where it's going in the ocean to help follow it. But they decide to still go anyways out. So they come up to the Norwegian fjords briefly and then sail out. I'm not sure whether it goes north around Denmark or Iceland or this way, but one of the two here. It comes out here. I think it's here, and it sinks the hood. And then because of the oil leak, it's not going to be able to stay at sea very long, and it's getting worse. So they decide to bring it into Brest. I've been ordered not to engage things like the hood, but it does. Run away from, because it's a rather fast battleship. Run away from anything really strong, but attack anything weak. So it's coming in here. Some swordfish off of, I'm going to say illustrious Ark Royal or whatever, one of the swordfish's torpedo bomber. Put in a torpedo that damages steering system, so all it can do is go in a circle. They're trying to repair it. So either it can stop, I don't even know how much they're trying to repair it, but either it can stop, which would probably help in repairing it, or it can keep going in a circle. Can't go anywhere but a circle. And going in a circle makes it a little bit harder to bomb, so it keeps going in a circle, going in a circle, and going in a circle. And because of that, the British come in with some other battleships and just pound the ship to into nothing, and it sinks. So that's the story of the Bismarck. The Gneisenau makes it into port, and then later on does a channel dash along with another, I think, heavy cruiser, because it's a battle cruiser, in which the channel dash is it comes out of Brest and rushes all the way up the channel into here, and does so successfully. And it's a actually really remarkable operation that Germany pulls off very effectively with air cover, and the British are trying to sink it, and they don't do any significant damage to the two ships. And it's the channel dash. It's actually a really brilliant maneuver by the Kriegsmarine. Okay, the Tirpitz, which gets finished later, does its working up cruise in the Baltic, comes up to here. Now it's basically sitting in a fjord up here for much of the war. and it does a few go after convoys that are going to Russia, kind of thing, and it has some minor engagements doing that. Eventually, it is sunk by the men in the X-Craft. So those are the two. Yeah, well, Admiral Tirpitz in his adventure, which I can't really remember enough of, but is that. But yeah, so the Tirpitz is just operating up in here. Now the Graf Spee, which is the pocket battleship, is sunk off the River Platte here, off Montevideo and Buenos Aires here, after a long sort of sea chase, which for a little while it's out over in here and it's running around here. So maybe you're thinking of when you're saying the Tirpitz, but that's the Graf Spee operating down here. Yeah, Bismarck Misfortune. So those are the three sort of battle type ships that I'm particularly familiar with by name and operation history. Mostly if I'm watching films made by Britain after the war about those, about the sinking of the Tirpitz, about sinking of the Bismarck, and the Graf Spee. I do learn a lot from movies. But then I also look up histories to see how correct the movies are or not, that kind of thing. So it's not just relying on movies for my history, for sure. Okay, well, we need more fighters, I think. Let me go grab a Coke. I will be back very shortly. I know we're in the middle of an episode here, but whatever. It's either I'm going to stop talking, need to end, or I need a Coke to drink. So we'll do that as being the better option. Back. We need more German sub films. Well, maybe. I did not watch the Das Boot TV series. I did watch the Das Boot movie. Probably I've seen it twice. It's been a long time, but I've seen that. It could be done right. Could be useful. Used to focusing over Germany, but we're playing as Italy, so let's continue this. Now, let's look at this. Okay, Germany is we're in the alliance together. So we're clearly seeing what Germany's doing. I still disagree with this level of stuff for Czechoslovakia. It's not entirely wrong, but I just disagree with what Uncharted's doing here. Okay. And he's reworked the AI now. Okay, so I don't know why the AI feels it's motorized to mechanized forces up here, but that isn't the worst thing in the world. It has got a armored division over here. Okay. But it seems like it's another 2 armored divisions over here. Okay. It seems like it's adequately reinforced East Prussia. And it seems, well, okay, there's armored division there, two there. Okay, well, it seems like it's concentrated some armored divisions that may be able to punch into here. This is fairly strong. Okay, yeah, okay, the AI is doing, for Germany's doing okay over here. I would give this an okay. Now here, remember when I was talking about trying to defend the border would be stupid? I think this is maybe his work we're seeing here with this AI, trying to draw this defensive line sort of here. Because it's trying to protect that if it's looking here, but I don't know what the hell. Oh, wow. Okay. Right. There's fewer provinces along here. Just 3 here. Normally there's 4, I believe. How interesting. Still, but okay, so for some reason the AI has not defended this border. And it has, it's defending some important points back here in the reserve. That's good, but I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes. Maybe he's just expecting people to place. Well, so much as Germany, I don't know. Maybe that is why France is not worrying about defending this, because it just can't see more forces than 2 infantry divisions and a cavalry division sitting somewhere near its borders. I don't know. I don't know. And maybe from what Frog Eye said about, you know, I'm trying to say it because I'm playing against it, but no, maybe it's saying human here, human player, this is primary opponent or something. Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact, and not the secondary opponent. You're building naval bombers to help control the Mediterranean here. Mentioning that. What? Okay, these are our. Creating unit down there. 22. 22. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now, let's look here. No, I wanted to look here. Okay, if we were to give ourselves a support anti-tank unit, we have enough. Okay. We have the manpower. We have the anti-tank guns. So we're going to do this. It's very much what I wanted to do. I wanted to have my divisions to have enough anti-tank ability. These are my standard ones. Okay. Let's see here. Back to this one here. Okay, piercing 2.4 with now that we have anti-tank guns. Wow. And heart attack 15. Piercing 22. Is that 24? Am I just misreading that? Oh, no. Okay, somehow I maybe clicked on the wrong thing. It's... No, yeah, okay, no, it's 13. Yeah, I was reading armor for some reason. Piercing 13. Okay. And this is a piercing of 22. Heart attack 57. Okay.
Attento.
Okay, well, our forces down here.
Pronto, signore.
That's too good to waste down here.
Avanzate. Sì, signore.
These light colonial divisions.
Pronto.
Well, I'm going to move all the good divisions out.
Avanzate.
And then we're going to have our light divisions. Let's see, let's hold it out. Well, you can hold it right there. They can come to here.
Attento. Pronto all'azione. Attento.
Yeah, they're forlorn hope. Let's send all of these guys back up to the Mediterranean and come to here. There we go. Both move and rebase up to there. And now these units, well, these
Comandi.
here.
Pronto all'azione.
Okay, yeah, I think let's add 2 more units there. Light tanks, motorized.
Sì, signore.
We're going to send you to Albania. Treaty with Germany, very nice. Okay. Now we're at July. The war may be kicking off in September, maybe a little sooner. For Germany. We're going to do island fortifications and then improved Alpine line, and I don't know if we'll ever do Gothic line. Hopefully we won't need that.
Pronto.
You guys made it there. Okay, you're going to Albania as well. Don't think I have any carriers. Italy did not have any carriers in war. So I don't need a carrier. Hungary renounces Treaty of Trianon. So I guess we'll go with this guy here. We don't need commerce rating. Okay, well, well, German submarines are going places. Maybe they were just, well, okay, there's the AI, they're going places. Maybe they were just down for like a, summer holiday. I know I was ranting and raving about them last episode, but maybe they were just going for a summer holiday in the Mediterranean. I don't know. Okay, let's look and see what we're producing enough of or not enough of. Fighters, more fighters. We need more fighters. We need more tactical bombers. Fighters, tactical bombers. Muzzle brakes. Really brakes on your muzzles. Okay, we have that. Let's go for a proper, well, not a proper medium tank, but something of a medium tank, an improper medium tank. What's an improper medium tank? One in which the turret has the machine gun and the hull has the main gun. That's an improper medium tank. And the gun is too weak on the tank anyways. Okay, well now, okay, I know it before. Okay, well now they have strengthened the line here, except for here where they have a cavalry division sitting all by its lonesome. 7 defense, fort 7, so the forts are there. Okay, well that's interesting. So I'm guessing it's seeing strategic points as trying to defend in the rear, sort of doing a coastal defense thingy here, holding the ports from invasion. But it's not really able to evaluate. We're not going to be invaded from the Baltic, though I don't know whether you can say that for sure on the North Sea coast. 3 months ago with Italy, I managed to make 30 tank divisions with so much heavy. Okay. Yeah, that just means whatever the game is / mod is broken. If you can do that, because you shouldn't be able to do that. Italy couldn't do that. 30 freaking tank divisions, if they're proper divisions and not just, oh, tank unit with 1 battalion of tanks or something. Yes, Italy, I know, could have made more tanks than it did. I'm sure of it. Now, that doesn't mean it could have, and I don't know all of the production problems, but I just know of enough times that they slowed up and delayed, waited for things to happen that they didn't need to wait for. I know they could have made more. And maybe not a lot more, but they could have made more. Anti-tank. So more, but not like 30 divisions. That's just broken. And I know sort of the idea is, oh, well, yeah, you could do it if you want to by not making any aircraft. So like if all you did was made tank divisions, it didn't make anything else. Maybe sort of, kind of, I could see that. Oh, come on. Come on, show what you're hiding up here. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe we don't need to. They were 70% good. Right. Yeah. But, I mean, as opposed to like 1 battalion of tanks and 1 battalion of walking infantry, if that's your tank division or something stupid like that, well, okay. But if it's really only, I mean, if they're reasonably well done things, and they may be somewhat under equipped, but that's just broken in my book. Just broken. Okay, I think we're going to end the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate all the viewers, those of you who are live here, like Call Me and Harmony and others that are still hanging around. Martin Smith maybe still here, I don't know. But and Arno, of course. Thank you all. I really appreciate all of you guys who watch the videos and who interact with them. I really do appreciate it. You don't know how much. Thanks, everyone. See you next time for even more Hearts of Iron. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to save this here. I think we're going to call it a day. I'd like to say I really do appreciate hanging out with you guys. Please continue. Well, I'm just a little tired of talking in the voice here right now, Arno. But I will be back tomorrow with War Thunder. Hopefully Arno will be playing. Armenian people, the Armenian party, okay. Oh yeah, they did. Hello Adrian, good to have you here. And yes, Eric, if you want to join tomorrow, we can play some War Thunder. So, yeah, I'll be seeing you, talking to you all. And again, I'm planning on the 16th is the release day of Imperator Rome's new spiffied up DLC. I'm planning on streaming it there sometime. Maybe my laptop died. We're probably going to be streaming on YouTube, Martin. So, yeah. The Paradox game Imperator Rome, it's, their sort of Roman era, strategy game, or however you want to put it. So on the 16th, the new major DLC rework is coming out. So I'm planning either on the 16th or the 17th or something like that. And I'm not exactly sure, but around there, I'm planning on streaming it. So, and it'll be on both Twitch and YouTube. So you might want to look for that. I don't have a time yet specified, but probably the 16th, but I'm not absolutely sure. So I'll be streaming that outside of the normal stuff. And towards the end of the month, in the beginning of next month, there's something coming up with Slytherin. I'm under an NDA for, but is sort of maybe streaming thing. So we'll see. So your laptop died, Arno. That's really bad to hear. Okay, talk to you guys later.